Before I say anything else, I need you to hear this. If you've been eating right, exercising regularly, cutting back on salt, doing everything your doctor told you to do, and your blood pressure is still high, you are not broken. You are not failing. And this is not just what happens when you get older. There's a reason, a real physiological reason that nobody has explained to you yet. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what's been going on inside your body. More importantly, you're going to know exactly what to do about it. So if that sounds like something you need, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. Not for me, but because when you do, YouTube shows this video to more people stuck in the same frustrating cycle. People who desperately need this information. Now, let's get into it. Here's something that might surprise you. The most frustrated patients I see aren't the ones making obvious mistakes. They're not eating fast food every day. They're not ignoring their doctor. They're the ones doing everything right. They exercise 3 to 4 times a week. They've transformed their diet, cut back on alcohol, don't smoke, and salt. They've become experts at avoiding it. And yet, when we check their blood pressure, it's still high. Not occasionally, consistently, stubbornly elevated. I see that look in their faces. Confusion mixed with defeat. That expression that says, "What more can I possibly do?" And here's what breaks my heart. Many of them have started believing the lie. Maybe this is just my genetics. Maybe this is just aging. Maybe my body is broken. Let me tell you something right now. If this sounds like your story, you have not been failing. Your body is not broken. The real issue is that you've been given an incomplete picture. You've been told what to do, but not why it sometimes doesn't work. That missing piece, that's exactly what we're uncovering today. Quick question. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but your blood pressure won't cooperate? Type yes in the comments. I read every single one, and I want to know how many of you are dealing with this. Now, let's talk about why this happens. Let's start with conventional wisdom. The model is simple. Too much salt equals high blood pressure. Cut salt, and blood pressure comes down. It's not completely wrong. Sodium does matter. For some people, reducing sodium creates real improvements. But here's what I observe week after week. Some people cut sodium and watch their numbers drop. Others cut sodium just as aggressively and see almost no change. Same intervention. Completely different results. Why? Because for many adults, particularly those over 50 and 60, high blood pressure is not primarily a salt problem. It's a hormonal problem, and the hormone I'm talking about is insulin. Now, I can almost hear you thinking, "But doctor, I'm not diabetic. My blood sugar is fine." If that's what went through your mind, keep watching. This is precisely where most people get lost. Most people think insulin only matters for diabetes. That's a massive misconception. Insulin sends direct signals to 3 systems controlling your blood pressure. Signal 1, your kidneys. When insulin rises, it tells your kidneys to hold on to sodium, retain it, keep it in your body. Signal 2, your nervous system. Elevated insulin keeps your fight or flight system slightly activated. It never fully calms down. Signal 3, your blood vessels. Chronic insulin elevation prevents your blood vessels from fully relaxing and dilating. Now, here's what's critical. This is completely normal, temporarily. Insulin is designed to rise after you eat, do its job, then fall back to baseline. Rise, work, fall. That's the healthy pattern. The problem begins when insulin never gets the chance to fall. And this is happening to far more people than you'd imagine, including people who look perfectly healthy. Including people who eat well. Let me walk you through a day that probably sounds familiar. Breakfast at 7:30 a.m., oatmeal with berries, healthy choice. Mid-morning snack at 10 a.m., an apple with almond butter, lunch at noon, salad with grilled chicken. Afternoon snack at 3 p.m., a protein bar or smoothie. Dinner at 6:30 p.m., salmon and vegetables. Evening snack at 9 p.m., some berries or almonds. Is there anything wrong with those foods? No, they're excellent choices. But here's what matters physiologically, the part no one explains. Every eating event triggers an insulin response. Every single one. When meals and snacks are spaced 2 to 3 hours apart, insulin never returns to baseline. Instead of rise and fall, you get a constant plateau. From breakfast until bedtime, insulin stays elevated. This isn't diabetes. It won't jump off the page in your blood work. Your doctor might say everything looks fine, but internally your insulin is just high enough for just long enough to create blood pressure problems that no amount of salt restriction will fix. Let me say that again. You can cut salt perfectly, avoid every processed food, but if insulin stays chronically elevated, your blood pressure will remain stubbornly high. This is the missing piece. Let me give you an image that will make this crystal clear. Think of your bloodstream as a highway. Sodium represents the cars. Your kidneys are the exit ramps. Insulin acts as the traffic signal controlling those exits. When insulin is low, the exits are open. Cars flow off smoothly. Sodium leaves your bloodstream efficiently. But when insulin stays elevated, those exit ramps stay partially closed. Now, think about it. You've been told to cut salt. Fewer cars entering the highway. That helps a little. But if the exits are still mostly closed, traffic still backs up. The cars already there can't leave. This is exactly what happens when you cut sodium, but insulin remains high. Your kidneys hold on to sodium because the signal to release it never arrives. The exits stay closed. Blood pressure stays high. I've cut salt to almost nothing, and my blood pressure is still high. Now you know why? The problem isn't just how many cars are entering, it's that the exits aren't open. Open the exits, and traffic clears. Lower insulin, and sodium leaves naturally. If this analogy just made something click, drop a comment and let me know. Here's a pattern I hear constantly. Doctor, my blood pressure is always highest first thing in the morning. Why? Most people assume it's stress, or just how their body works. But very often the real reason is timing, specifically when you ate the night before. Let's say you eat dinner at 7 p.m., then a small snack at 9 p.m. You go to bed at 10. That snack triggered insulin, but you went to bed before insulin could fall back down. Now, throughout the entire night while you're sleeping, your kidneys are in sodium retention mode for 8 hours. Your nervous system never fully downshifts. Your blood vessels don't get their recovery window. You wake up at 6 a.m., check your blood pressure, and it's high. Not because of morning stress, not because of coffee, because your body never got the reset it needed. Most people have no idea this is happening. They think morning spikes are just normal aging. They're not. They're a signal that your evening insulin pattern needs attention. Here's where this gets really interesting. Some of the people most affected by this look incredibly healthy. They're not overweight. They're active. Their doctor says they're in great shape, and yet their blood pressure won't budge. Here's what's not discussed enough. Normal weight does not automatically mean metabolically healthy. There are two types of fat: subcutaneous fat, which you can see and pinch under your skin, and visceral fat, packed around your internal organs. Visceral fat is the problem. It's metabolically active. It interferes with insulin signaling. It creates insulin resistance. And here's the key. You can be normal weight and still carry too much visceral fat. When this happens, your pancreas pumps out more insulin just to keep blood sugar normal. Your labs look fine because your body is compensating, but the cost is chronically elevated insulin. And we're back to the same problem. Kidneys retaining sodium, nervous system activated, blood vessels unable to relax. This is why people feel confused and defeated. On the surface, they're doing everything right, but their internal environment is working against them. I want to be very direct. The most common reason blood pressure stays elevated in healthy people is not overeating, not junk food, not lack of discipline. It's constant feeding, never allowing insulin to fall. This shows up in 3 patterns. Pattern 1, grazing, small meals or snacks every 2 to 3 hours. This was marketed as healthy. Keep your metabolism going. But physiologically, it keeps insulin turned on all day. Your body never enters a low insulin state. Pattern 2, liquid calories, smoothies, protein shakes, juices. They hit your system fast, spike insulin quickly. And because they don't create fullness, people stack them on top of meals. Insulin spikes on top of insulin spikes. Pattern 3, late night eating. This might be the biggest driver of stubborn blood pressure. Eating within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime keeps insulin elevated overnight. Kidneys retain sodium for 8 hours. Nervous system never recovers. Blood vessels miss their repair window. Over time, this resets your blood pressure baseline higher. You wake up already behind. Notice what all 3 have in common. It's not what you're eating. It's when and how often. The foods might be excellent, but the pattern is working against you. Before I share the solution, if you've made it this far, hit that subscribe button. I release videos like this every week, deep dives into topics that actually matter. When you subscribe, you'll never miss one. Now, let's talk about what to do. Here's the good news. You don't need a radical diet overhaul. You don't need keto. You don't need extended fasting. You don't need perfection. What you need are insulin-low windows, stretches of time where insulin can genuinely fall back to baseline. Here's what this looks like practically. Step 1. Stop snacking between meals. Give yourself 4 to 5 hours between eating events. Eat breakfast, don't eat again until lunch. Eat lunch, don't eat again until dinner. Let insulin actually fall between meals. Step 2. Finish eating earlier. Create at least a 3-hour gap between your last bite and bedtime. If you sleep at 10 p.m., finish eating by 7 p.m. This gives insulin time to fall before sleep. Lets your body get the overnight reset it needs. This single change often has the biggest impact on morning readings. Many patients see improvements within 1 to 2 weeks. Step 3. Compress your eating window. Instead of eating from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., try 10 to 12 hours. Maybe 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. This isn't starvation. You're eating satisfying meals, getting all the nutrition you need, just organizing when you eat to work with your physiology. This is sustainable, something you can do for life. When you create insulin-low windows, a cascade of positive changes happens automatically. First, your kidneys release the sodium they've been holding. The exit ramps open. Traffic clears. Second, blood volume normalizes. When sodium leaves, water follows. Less pressure on artery walls. Third, your nervous system calms down. That fight or flight activation finally switches off. Fourth, your blood vessels relax. They dilate. Blood flows more easily. All of this happens naturally, without struggle, without willpower. Patients tell me they see improvements within days to weeks, not months, days to weeks. Morning readings come down. Overall numbers normalize. They feel different. More energy, better sleep. They did it not by finding some magic food, but by addressing the actual signal driving the problem. Chronically elevated blood pressure isn't just a number. It's a signal of ongoing stress on your entire cardiovascular system. Every day it stays elevated. Damage accumulates. Your heart works harder. The muscle thickens. Your blood vessels take damage. Arteries narrow. Your kidneys strain. Function slowly deteriorates. Your brain is affected. Small vessels become vulnerable. This isn't about achieving some perfect number. It's about protecting your heart, brain, kidneys, and blood vessels from cumulative damage. But here's the hopeful part. When you address the underlying insulin pattern, you're not just lowering a number. You're reducing strain on your heart, protecting your blood vessels, supporting kidney function, preserving brain health. Every day your blood pressure is healthy. You're preventing damage, investing in your future self. This is how people stay strong, independent, and mentally sharp well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Not by fighting their body, by finally working with it. You now understand things about blood pressure that most people never learn. Now it's time to act. Here's what I want you to do this week. Action 1. Pick one pattern: grazing, liquid calories, or late night eating. Make one change. If you're a grazer, go from breakfast to lunch without a snack. Try it for 1 week. If you drink smoothies between meals, move them to meal times. If you eat late, finish all food 3 hours before bed. One change, 1 week. See what happens. Action 2. Monitor your blood pressure at the same time each day. Morning before breakfast. Track the trend. Action 3. Come back and leave a comment. Tell me what you tried, what you noticed. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If this video helped something click, if you finally understand why you've been stuck, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit that like button right now. That single click tells YouTube this is helpful. It pushes this message to more people who need it. Second, subscribe and click the bell. I release videos every week diving deep into topics like this. When you subscribe, you join a community taking control of their health through knowledge. Third, share this video. Think of someone struggling with blood pressure, a friend, family member, spouse. Send them this. It might be exactly what they need. Now that you understand why blood pressure stays elevated even when you're doing everything right, you're ready for the next step. The 3 most effective exercises for lowering blood pressure naturally, backed by research, practical at any fitness level. I made a complete video on exactly that. Click right here to watch it next. Thank you for watching. Thank you for investing this time in your health. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.